All right, let's talk about standing desks. You got one to feel better, right? To finally break free from sitting all day. But what happens? After just a few minutes, your back starts to ache, or maybe you get that weird, annoying zing shooting down your leg. It's so frustrating. Well, today we're going to break down exactly why that's happening, and more importantly, how you can fix it in like less than a minute.
And right off the bat, I want you to hear this. If this sounds like you are not broken. Seriously, your body isn't failing you. What's actually happening is it's sending you a really specific signal that something's a little off. See, the problem isn't the standing itself, it's how you're standing. And that right there, that's what we're calling the standing desk paradox. I mean, this thing that's supposed to be so good for your health is making you feel bad. So what's the deal? Why does trying to do the right thing for your body sometimes feel so completely wrong? Okay, let's dig in and figure this out.
I bet this sounds familiar, right? You start standing, and for the first few minutes, everything's great. You feel focused, productive, you're killing it. But then, slowly, this discomfort starts to creep in. It's not like a sudden injury, it's more of a gradual tension, you know? And then you get that little zing that tells you trouble is brewing. That delay, that's a massive clue for us.
So why the delay? Why does the pain just hang out for like 10 or 12 minutes before it decides to show up? Well, it's because your nervous system, it's pretty patient, but only to a point. That delay tells us it's not one single wrong move you made, it's a slow buildup of tension. Your body has been quietly trying to compensate for you until finally it just goes, nope, can't do it anymore.
Okay, so here it is, the real culprit. And, surprise, it's not your desk, it's your stance. More specifically, it's a kind of posture that literally turns you into a human statue. So let's meet the villain of our story, the statue stance.
And you know, the really sneaky thing about the statue stance is how simple it is. You just lock your knees, you brace your body. You might not even realize your breathing has gotten super shallow. You're probably thinking, hey, I have great posture. But what you've actually done is turn your entire body into one big, tense column.
And check this out. This is the chain reaction it sets off. It all starts with one simple thing, locking your knees. That one little action creates this domino effect of tension that just shoots right up your body. Your calves and hamstrings get tight, your pelvis gets all stiff to try and handle it. Then your low back has to brace itself, and then, bam, that's when your leg symptoms just light up. Okay, let's make this super clear. On one side, we have the posture pitfall. This is the don't do this stuff. Locking your knees, clenching your glutes, trying to force a perfectly flat back. That's the statue stance. Now look at the other side. That's what we're aiming for. Soft knees, relaxed glutes, and just tiny little micro movements. The goal here isn't to be rigid, it's to be adaptable. All right, so we've nailed down the problem. Now for the fun part, the solution. And no, it is not some 30-minute yoga routine you have to schedule into your day. It's a 60-second reset, something you can do right now at your desk, and I promise no one will even notice.
Yep, that's it. Just 60 seconds. That's literally all it takes to break that cycle of tension and send a little all-clear signal back to your nervous system. So, you ready? Let's break down exactly how to do it.
So here's your new go-to protocol. It's just 4 simple, super memorable steps. Unlock, stack, shift, and move. We're going to walk through each one step by step. And remember, the point here isn't to find some perfect posture. It's just about getting your body out of that stiff, rigid column.
Okay, step 1, unlock. Now this is so important. We are talking about a tiny bend in your knees, like 1 or 2%. It's a micro bend, not a squat. Your thigh muscle should not be burning. All you're doing is getting your knees out of that straight, hard lock position. That's it. Simple, right?
Step 2 is stack. Just think about gently lining up your ribs so they feel like they're kind of floating right over your pelvis. And now for the secret weapon, a big, slow exhale. Seriously, breathe out for like 4 to 6 seconds, almost like you're trying to fog up a window. That one simple breath tells all those core muscles that have been bracing for dear life that it's okay to chill out.
All right, step 3, shift. I want you to forget everything you've ever heard about standing with your weight perfectly balanced 50-50 on both feet. That actually creates a static load, which is what we're trying to avoid. Instead, just shift your weight a little bit. Put about 60% on one foot, 40% on the other. It sounds small, but trust me, this little change makes a massive difference.
And finally, step 4, move. Just for 10 or 15 seconds, bring in some tiny little movements. I'm talking small ankle circles, little heel raises, maybe tapping your toes. This isn't a workout, okay? It's a signal. You're getting the blood flowing again, and you're telling your body, hey, we're good over here. We're safe and we're mobile. You can stop tensing up now.
So that 60-second reset, that's your go-to emergency fix. But wouldn't it be better if you didn't need it in the first place? Of course. The real key is to make soft knees and constant movement your new normal, and you do that by tweaking your environment. Let's take a look at how to set yourself up for success.
First things first, let's look at your actual setup. Is your desk so high that you're shrugging your shoulders up to your ears? If so, lower it until your elbows can rest comfortably. How about your monitor? Is it too low, forcing you into that turtleneck position? Raise that thing up so your head can just balance easily over your torso. These little adjustments can stop that bracing before it even begins.
Okay, what about accessories? A little footrest can be amazing for changing up your hip angles. The only rule is you gotta switch which foot is up every minute or so. And those anti-fatigue mats, yeah, they can be great, but here's a word of caution. Don't let them trick you into standing perfectly still for way too long. That defeats the whole purpose.
And all of this leads to probably the most important mindset shift we're going to talk about today. This isn't about being tough and enduring long stretches of standing. It's about moving smarter, not harder. So let's go over the new rules of standing.
So here's the absolute bottom line. If you only remember one thing from all of this, please let it be this. Movement beats correctness. Your body doesn't want a single, correct, rigid posture. It's begging for variety and motion. You know, they say the best posture is your next posture.
And here's a super practical tool to help you put this into practice. Think of this as your personal decision-making card. Instead of just guessing what to do, you're going to listen to your body. If just softening your knees and shifting your weight makes you feel better, cool, keep standing. But if standing still is what's triggering the pain, maybe switch to a stool for a bit, or just take a short walk. Let your body be your guide, not some feeling that you should be standing.
Now, to really make this a habit, you can't wait for the pain to show up. A great trick is to set a timer, maybe for every 20 or 30 minutes. When it goes off, you just pick one thing from this 20-second micro break menu. Again, these aren't workouts. They're just tiny little snacks of movement that your body needs to stay happy. It's all about consistency, not intensity.
And really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to try harder to have perfect posture. You just need to be less of a statue and have more variation. That's it. That is the whole secret.
So I'm going to leave you with a question. Don't worry about completely overhauling your entire routine tomorrow. Just think about this. What is one small, tiny change you can make right now, in the next 15 minutes, to start standing like a statue? What can you do to bring in just a little more movement? Because that, right there, is where the real change starts.